So now that we had a chance to fly both the EVO and the Mavic side by side, we wanted to do our video of our 5 reasons why you should buy the Autel EVO over the Mavic Pro. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Phones, Drones, and Tech. If you are new here, consider hitting that subscribe button at the end of the video. We've had this for about the better half of the weekend, and we've gotten a chance to really test it, really fly it, and really put it through its paces. And we've come up with 5 reasons why you should purchase this over the Mavic Pro if you were thinking about purchasing the Mavic. Now, these reasons are not going to be any particular order. We've just sort of listed out with what we feel is most prioritized.
Yeah.
So, and starting with the number 1 reason, the camera.
Yeah, so the camera can shoot in 4K at 60 frames per second. It can shoot in 1080p at 120 frames per second. I mean, really, they took what the Phantom 4 Pro's camera can do and shoved it into a smaller body in the Autel EVO, so it kind of looks like the Mavic Pro. We also get 100 megabits per second at our max write speed, the bit rate, which is awesome.
Not only that, you also get a wider field of view than what you get with the Mavic Pro. You're getting a 94-degree field of view. Now, some of you may not really appreciate it or like it. Me, I like it. I like being able to get more in my shot, and I think it looks really good.
That's one of the reasons why I actually like the Phantom 4 Pro over the Mavic, is because the Mavic is a little bit tighter. The same with the Spark, the same with the Mavic Air. But the Phantom 4 Pro can honestly just open up a shot, and you're able to fit more in the shot when you're flying up high. Our reason number 2 is updated hardware across the board, from the controller to the actual drone itself. It's 2 years newer than the Mavic Pro, so of course we're going to see updated hardware.
Now, with the updated hardware, you're getting a 3-inch OLED display that's built into the controller, which means that you really don't even need a phone to fly this drone. Not only that, the design is really functional with the way that the landing gear actually folds out. You just simply pull out the back, pull out the front, and you're done.
Easier than the Mavic Pro. It's a little bit more difficult with different folding arms. Also, we're seeing an improved gimbal design on the EVO. I don't know if you guys have ever seen the Mavic Pro's gimbal, but it's very flimsy. It kind of gets pushed around sometimes in the higher wind, and also is very vulnerable to breaking when crashing. There's not much protection.
Yeah, this gimbal is very robust, and we haven't had any problems with wind. I mean, honestly, besides the tilt, the camera has been very, very stable, and we've been flying it out over the Gulf a lot. So we haven't had any problems with any of the conditions we've tested it. Reason number 3 why you would consider the Autel EVO over the Mavic Pro is there is no no-fly zones.
Yeah, so I don't know if you guys are familiar with DJI. Obviously, when you go to take off, and if you're in an NFZ, a little pop-up comes up, and if you haven't gone through the whole entire unlocking process, you're going to have to input either your credit card information, which is a little bit weird, or your SMS number. They shoot you a text with a code, you input that code, and you're good to fly. But that can be cumbersome, and if you don't have any internet connection, you probably won't be able to fly.
Yeah, and it's not that Autel's telling you they want you to fly in areas that you don't belong. They still expect and hold their pilots accountable for the areas that they take off. This just allows emergency response teams to be able to get into the areas that they need, and that's really what Autel is targeted. If you look at this drone, it's very commercial, and it's very much designed for the first responder. So if you were a police officer, firefighter, this drone would definitely be something you would be looking at. The last little tidbit that we'd want to add there is that Autel doesn't take any data, it doesn't track, doesn't log any of your flights. If you'll notice, there's no sync back and forth to Autel Robotics, and I actually asked them if I can send them flight logs, and they said they couldn't do that because they don't track or log my flights.
I seem to be a little bit up in the air about this. I don't mind it, but I know that there's a ton of people out there who hate when companies track them, especially when it's a Chinese company.
Right, exactly.
Reason number 4 is that the GPS lock is incredibly accurate and also just incredibly fast.
Yeah.
I mean, we found this through our tests when we were actually inside of the garage testing the batteries, and also when we were outside testing things like return to home.
Yeah, so we were in the garage and we had the garage door closed. The garage door is obviously aluminum or metal, and you would think that would shield it from being able to pick up a GPS satellite. The EVO actually locked on satellites within 30 seconds, and I had, I think, 10 or 11 satellites available to me. Even when we were doing our return to home test, the EVO was able to pinpoint its landing, and it was within like literally less than a foot of where it initially took off, which was incredibly accurate.
Yeah, so he had put down a little X. I'm not sure if you're going to ever upload that footage, but he put down a little X.
Yeah, well, I'll include it in this video.
He had put down an X on the ground, and I mean it landed right on top of it.
It's crazy.
And we saw the drone as it's coming down making small adjustments to make sure that it landed in the exact spot. And something that I don't usually do is trust my drone to land on its own, any of my DJI drones, but with this drone, I would trust it any day of the week.
Reason number 5 why you would choose the Autel Robotics EVO over the Mavic Pro is American-based customer support.
Yeah, so this is not only good because they're sort of on the same time schedule as us and we can reach them at convenient hours for us, but also because it's going to be easy to communicate with them. Now, if you're dealing with a foreign company, whether they're Chinese, Japanese, French, it might be a little bit hard to actually relay your problem to them, but now that we have American, US-based support, that's definitely a plus.
Yeah, I can talk from experience. I've had issues with my X-Star when that was a thing. On a Memorial Day weekend, they actually were there and they shipped me out a battery like literally the next day. It was a super simple process. I didn't get a runaround. I was able to track my repair throughout the whole duration. It was just awesome. And I'm really looking forward to dealing with Autel Robotics support. I know it's a weird thing to say, but it's going to be easier when you want to deal with them or if you have an issue. They're not reading any scripts. They're real people and they're available basically 7 days a week. So American-based support is definitely a huge benefit with the Evo.
Yeah, that is awesome. And from experience, I know that I've had a bad battery on my Spark, and when I needed to actually get a new one from DJI, I sent it in, and they sent one to me for free. So it was a longer process because they had to wait until they got my battery, and then they sent one to me. But Autel is going above and beyond just sending out a battery. That's awesome.
Yeah, that was awesome. So that's our 5 reasons why you should buy the Autel EVO over the Mavic Pro. Now, if you want to see the opposite end of this, check out Billy's channel where we have the 5 reasons why you should choose the Mavic Pro over the Autel EVO. I'll put a card and put a link at the end of this video to his channel and that video itself. Anyways, that's going to do it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed. Let us know what you think in the comments section below. Were these 5 reasons what you chose why you bought this drone, or is it another reason that we missed? Anyways, we'll see you next time. Stay original.
Peace.